Well, the fans are here in full voice. So too are some of the players that aren't present today in the team. Millie Bright there and Beth Mead embracing each other. Leah Williamson, the captain, of course, outside, injured, and she is here to watch the Lionesses play their final game on home turf before they head off to Australia. Now, the fans are really up for this one. And Brighty, we didn't get a chance to talk about the fact that up front there's been a change in terms of Alicia Rosso on the bench.
Yeah.
Daly steps in.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you?
No, not with Rachel Daly's form. I think Lester's been playing very well this season as well, but I think that Rachel Daly's been outstanding. She's won the Golden Boot. She's done everything she needed to do to force the issue and get herself a starting place here. You know, Lester, I'm sure, will push her as well, but I think it's reward for her unbelievable season.
Yeah, Seema, the fact that these two forwards are pushing each other, you know, obviously I know that number 9 shirt, you want to get it, but you want to be pushed to get it. And I think Rachel Daly edges it just slightly. 22 goals in 22 games for Aston Villa this season. Unbelievable. Yeah. She's single-handedly, you know, pushed Aston Villa up the league table. She's been absolutely brilliant. She's so versatile, great in the air, prolific, scores goals, works hard for the team. Yeah. And then you've got Alessia, who can score brilliant goals, as we saw last year, coming off the bench. Brilliant for England.
This is special for the fans. This is they're wanting to give them a big send-off today, aren't they?
You know what I mean? And they deserve it. They've done brilliantly. They've made us very proud. But when in respect to the game, it's really interesting. Our main strength was our central pairing. That is, at the moment, what I want to see in this game. How our central pairing are going to deal with whatever pressure they're going to get and the progression of the ball, because that's important for us to get the ball to Kieran Walsh, then to get the ball forward. So that is something that I want to see, and I want to see how we do that.
Yeah, because that said, the midfield is the only part of this side that's settled.
Yeah. Well, I think we saw in the Australia game, if Kira Walsh is stopped tactically, it really, really affects England. And I think Sarina hopefully would have looked at that tactically and solved that problem. But yeah, you know, the great players, Kira Walsh, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toon. For me, Lauren James, I'd love to see her playing in the 10 as well. So the midfield is really important. Kira Walsh is really important as well.
And it's also an opportunity for those players that have come in today to be in Sarina's plans for the first game against Haiti.
Absolutely, because we've seen with Sarina, she'll mess around with these kind of games, changing it around, but then if she sees something, she's got no compunction in putting somebody in totally out of the blue. And then we've seen, like you saw with the Euros, that team will start continually. So you've got a chance with Sarina if you impress her enough, even in this game, at this late stage, to get yourself in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much competition for places. The squad depth has been something we've talked about for so long. It's brilliant, you know, in every single position. You know, maybe not the back line because we do have injuries to Millie and Leah, but throughout the team, you've got competition for places. You know, you've got the ability to move someone like Lauren James into the 10, which I would love to see, and then see, you know, someone like Katie Robinson come into the wing positions. It's so much flexibility for Sarina to choose from.
Well, as you can see, the players are all set and ready in the tunnel, so it's now time to hand you over to your commentary team, Siobhan Chamberlain and Seb Hutchinson. Good afternoon to you both.
Yes, good afternoon. Not long to go now. England's last outing before they fly out to Oz. A journey Portugal themselves will make as another of the 32 teams taking part in the biggest ever Women's World Cup. England no longer unbeaten under Sarina Wiegman, but will, even with their key injuries, still take some beating this summer. And welcomed by the sizable crowd, Stadium MK. And all the supporters here looking for their side to put on a display before they head out to the tournament with the hopes of adding a world title to their European crown. Before the anthems, a moment of recognition for two former Lionesses, Izzy Christiansen and Carly Telford, who retired earlier this year. And the FA's Women's Technical Director, Kay Cossington, presenting the players with a token of thanks for their contribution to the game. And also the CEO of the FA, Mark Bullingham. Carly Telford, former goalkeeper for the Lionesses, and Izzy Christiansen, a midfielder. Most recently was at Everton in the WSL. Two players not capped under Sarina Wiegman, but with many caps under their belt. And now for both nations, the national anthems. So England against Portugal is coming up after this short break. So it's England's final match before they fly out to the World Cup. And this is Sarina Wiegman's last 11 before that trip, with Millie Bright still on the way back from her injury. A new centre-back pairing of Jess Carter and Esme Morgan, with Alex Greenwood at left-back. Rachel Daly preferred to Alessia Russo up front, and Lauren James preferred to Chloe Kelly. This could be considered Portugal's strongest side, with 5 players from domestic champions Benfica and 5 Centurions, including former Chelsea forward Ana Borges, who now plays for her country at fullback. We are expecting more of a diamond shape to their midfield. Well, Portugal, one of the nations who have really improved in recent years. Their third major tournament coming up this summer, their first World Cup as well. A team full of confidence who've picked up some eye-catching results in the last year, in particular a thumping win over New Zealand and beating the likes of Belgium and Iceland to reach the World Cup this summer. They only reached the European Championships last summer because of Russia's eviction due to the invasion of Ukraine, but they've made it very much on their own merits this time round after being at the Euros in 2017. But they are facing one of the world's best sides in England, and that must still be remembered. Even with all the injuries that England have to their lineup, they've shown they have decent depth as well. But before the action, there will be a moment of silence for England's former security manager Sue Harrison, who passed away after a brief illness, having worked with the Lionesses for almost a decade. And the players also wearing black armbands for this match. Siobhan Chamberlain alongside me. Sue was somebody you knew very well during your time with England.
It is, and it's easy to give recognition to the people that you see day to day, those in the media, those with a high profile, but it's often the people in the background that really make an impact and hold a team together, and Sue was one of those people. Every player loved her, every staff member loved her, and someone that would always go out of her way for you. Camp can be over long periods of time, and having someone like Sue around so special, a mother figure, someone with a huge heart, and she'll be hugely missed.
Well, both sets of players take the knee, another reminder to stand against all forms of discrimination. It will be England to get us underway. And away we go. The unbeaten bubble has burst. But could that prove a blessing in disguise, Siobhan? I think I know what you're going to say.
As a player, definitely not. You hate losing, and I think they'd have hated even more people saying, oh, it's the best time to come. Any time you lose is a bad time. But so long as they get the roll started again now and get back on that roll for the finals, it's perfect timing.
With all these injuries that England have had, and the settled side that Sarina Wiegman has tried to play over her tenure, still plenty of question marks over who will start that opening game against Haiti. See if there's some clues in this lineup today. Expect Stanway, though, to be in that lineup. Impression she's made in midfield for England. You've never seen this Portugal side play. They like to keep the ball. When the moment comes, they will try to get that ball quickly to their quick forwards, Siobhan.
That's their biggest asset, I think, their forwards. They're direct, they're quick, they're tricky, they're skillful, they've got combination play between them, and it'll be a tough afternoon for this kind of very new England back line.
Gomez from the two centre-backs. There is experience in this Portugal team as well. Carol Costa, the Centurions in the side in the centre of their defence. One of those who's played at the previous two tournaments that Portugal have qualified for. In 2017, a tournament in which they faced England and Siobhan Chamberlain. Get on that later. Portugal trying to play out from the back, and England lying in wait for them to give it away. Walsh, and then a misplaced pass from Kira Walsh. Very rare occasion, but a tricky evening against Australia in that defeat that ended England's 30-match unbeaten run. Their first loss under Sarina Wiegman. Had to be against Australia. And applying the pressure right in the pitch early on. And Greenwood on the left-back position, looking for him. Might get there and getting across. And that side is Amado. Can play on either side, but he found it right back for Portugal. Hemp. She spots that gap to run inside. She looks to take it, and then Joanna Silva trying to break away. Carter was in quickly. And straight away, not allowing Portugal time to settle. Stanway. Lauren James. So many supporters excited to see her today. Bronze. James. Doubled up well there, Portugal, on occasion. Scared away by Carol Costa. Mary Earps captaining England today, with no Millie Bright and, of course, no Leah Williamson. Greenwood to fine-tune, who likes to pick up those pockets of space, but midfield and Portugal trying to win it back, but they can't. Dolores Silva able to put in there.
When we saw the lineup for the team out, the team sheet, we obviously had Jess Carter who's starting at centre-back and Alex Greenwood at left-back. We weren't sure which way round that would be. It'd be really interesting to see if they stay in those positions, if they switch up at all. But for me, Alex Greenwood on the ball offers so much going forward. But for me, having her in that left-sided position gives that added dynamic to the forward play of England's progressiveness.
Portugal have already switched their fullbacks. It's interesting. Bronze. Walsh has come across to the right-hand side as the sun comes out for Milton Keynes. Greenwood, Hemp. Intelligent work from the Portuguese players to try and defend against him, but the ball played in. And goalkeeper scrambling across to make the save. England still applying the pressure. Know how dangerous Daly could be in the air. Now's a chance to showcase it. Stanway. Inish Pereira getting across just in time. Daly trying to sneak in once more. And that's what she offers to this England side.
It is what she's offers, and 2 headers in the space of 30 seconds. The first one definitely more dangerous than the second, but she's got intelligent movement. She can play off the back shoulders. We see here the delivery from Lauren Hemp is outstanding, but the way she picks her pockets between the 2 centre-backs gives her that space to be able to get that header on goal. Just didn't quite have the power on it to beat the keeper.
England already creating chances, and Walsh to link up with her Barcelona teammate in Lucy Bronze. The 2 Barcelona players now European champions, both joining the club for this season and taking them to the title. Dramatic victory over Wolfsburg when they were 2-0 down in that final.
Not a bad way to win the Champions League. A brilliant season for both of them, and for Keira Walsh especially. So many player of the match performances, winning trophy after trophy, and she's someone that potentially has gone under the radar for large periods of time as a player, but now is getting the plaudits that she fully deserves.
Absolutely, going to second World Cup with England. And Nazare there under pressure is a creative force for Portugal, but there were the white shirts around her, not preventing her from getting any traction. To sit behind that front 2, the 2 silvers. And the pass just going out of play. We know Greenwood's strengths on the ball.
Well, this is one of the important things for today. It's about connections, it's about sharpness, it's about match fitness. These players haven't played for a long period of time.
Stanway into James. There's going to be room here for Bronze. Bronze clipping it back inside towards Stanway. Laura Silva on the cover. There's Diana Silva. Having to work so hard to retain possession, Portugal. It's what England like to play, aggressive defending. Chance to get away with Pinto. Pinto almost got that through to Jessica Silva, but Greenwood was there.
Strong defending there by Alex Greenwood. Managed to win the throw on as well, which is always a positive. I don't think she'd have liked to have to go to ground there, but you know that she can.
And here's Pinto picking it up, and Toon with a foot in. Free kick. Toon can't believe it. Swiss officials today. Mr. Staubley, the main referee.
I mean, you can see the frustration. She's won the ball. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on, but nothing that warrants a free kick. It's a good opportunity for England to test their defensive set-piece structure.
That's what Serena thought about the decision. A chance here to test Mary Earps. The visiting side. Kika Nazare. Over this set piece. Portugal. A fair view forward here. And went for the low one. It was awkward for England there. Still, wasn't the delivery Nazare might have wanted. Portugal waiting to see if they've won a corner, but they haven't.
Wasn't the perfect delivery, but you can see Jessica Silva there. Definitely claiming for handball. She may have a point. Though Alex Greenwood's arm was down, I'm not sure she could have done much else.
Well, we do have VAR, but in the meantime, England on the attack. Good work from Stanway to get it out to James. And James, one of those classy waltzing runs. It's just too much on it to bronze. But another of those runs from Lauren James to get the crowd off their feet.
You said it there, classy. That is exactly what Lauren James is. She's a classy footballer. The way she moves the ball, you just can't tackle her. She's got so much talent, and she's a player that I'm so excited to see in this World Cup coming up.
It's one of the many debates about who might start in this England side. James or Kelly on that side. Now Carter, this is a test for her at the back. And Jessica Silva, a threat in that regard, and might still work out here for Portugal. Here's Jessica Silva. It's not the best ball in, and easily mopped up by Kira Walsh. Always makes that look so easy. It was just a little glimpse of where we think teams might be able to get at England if England do persist with a high line in games.
Potentially why Jess Carter is in that centre-back position. She is very quick, and if she is caught out, or if England are caught out, she's good at getting that recovery back, runs back in and making those challenges.
Siobhan, that's what the likes of Williamson, and when Daly was in the back four as well, what they offered to that back line, that recovery speed. England having to rethink their defence. Both enforced really, one through the form of Rachel Daly back up front again, and the other the injury to the captain. Greenwood, kick for Toon. Red by Diana Gomez.
That's where you want to see Ella Toon picking up pockets, between the centre-back and the full-back, running in behind. When Alex Greenwood's on the ball, she gets her head up, she can pick those passes out. Just needed a slightly better first touch from Ella Toon, and she's in.
To go back to Portugal, the nation at international level have certainly come on leaps and bounds. Not an easy side to beat. They've shown, even during the Euros as well, very credible 2-2 draw with Switzerland, entertaining one at that. James. Greenwood, take it in her stride. Now Hemp. And Hemp goes down. Referee playing advantage here as Toon looks for Daly. It's carried away by Carol Costa. Portugal know they have to get the bodies around Lauren Hemp. As we found out during the Euros, you can do that, but that gives space for others. Beth Mead, one of those who benefited in that sort of scenario. And Lauren James will hope it's the same. There's bronze.
I think anyone that watches any English football will know the talent that Lauren James has, and know that just like Lauren Hemp, you can't afford to give her any kind of space, so it's difficult choices. Where are you going to double up? Where are you going to leave those gaps for England?
And that's the benefit England have. All the pressure on Kira Walsh in that Australia game, but if the whole team is working, you can't mark them all.
I think you see there, you want that. You don't want that advantage. You want that free kick. Definitely a foul. It's got to be given there.
Borges. Armado. Norton. Nazare trying to help that ball forward to Jessica Silva. Borges again. Nazare. And England probably recognised her as being an attacking threat, so she's being given no time at all. A young forward, youngest player in this Portugal lineup. Carroll. It goes to Norton. Much room to turn. A lot of teams find this when they play England. They seem to deal with the sort of attacking midfield players of the opposition very well in games. Something I've noticed watching this England side.
And that's also credit to Kira Walsh. She dictates the play in the centre of that field so well. On the ball, she gets credit. She doesn't often get credit for when she's out of possession. The way she manages the players around her, those attacking midfielders that can cause you problems if they're not picked up correctly.
Greenwood. Always with her head up, always looking for that progressive pass. Alex Greenwood in that back line. Serena Wiegmann. For all our talk about who we think might start, we know that Serena knows.
Does she?
I think she does. She'd never let us know that she doesn't.
She wouldn't, but I think there are some questions at the moment. You've obviously got Rachel Daly that started in the 9, Alessia Russo who's been in the 9 as well. You've got Niamh Charles at left back, who's got the 3 shirt in today's squad. I'm not sure if I'm reading too much into squad numbers. I know they haven't been announced. Got Millie Bright coming back in. There's so much movement in this squad.
The movement with England coming forward. And the ball towards Daly, not that far away. Hemp putting the pressure on, but Lauren James almost playing that right into the path of Daly.
I mentioned all those players and I still didn't even mention Chloe Kelly. But here again, Lauren James putting in a brilliant ball. Rachel Daly again finding those gaps between the 2 centre-backs. She's so good at finding those gaps between them, getting herself that inch of space, which is why she's scored so many goals this season in the WSL. She finds the pockets in between, evades being marked, and then gets the opportunity to get shots on goal from within that 6-yard box.
Joint record number of goals in the WSL this season for Rachel Daly, having signed for Aston Villa up front. And it feels like very much of the debate about whether she should play in defence or up front has been put to bed for now, though she was pretty good in defence. She's that sort of player, you just want her on the pitch. Morgan, who started the game against Australia, seems to be preferred young defender, Serena Wiegmann, other than Laetitia, who is on the bench today, but is one of the reserve players who will travel with the team to that first game. Once again, Portugal unable to impose themselves on this England side. But Australia were able to do that at times in that friendly last time out, and Brazil were in the second half of the Finalissima. Greenwood. And Hemp. Borges trying to get there, but she couldn't. Carter pinging that out to Bronze. James eases her way, gets it forward to Bronze. Stanway waiting for that ball, but it's a loose pass from Bronze, but Walsh is there. Toon urged to shoot, does shoot, but drags her shot well wide, weaker foot and all that.
I think had Ella Toon played a couple of games in the last few weeks, I think that would have been finding its way on target with a lot more power, and that's the importance of today's game. It's great that she's picking up those pockets and she's got the confidence to shoot from those areas, but England need that match sharpness. They need to get firing on all cylinders, and this game is really important for them to be able to develop connections, as I said before, but also get firing on all cylinders, get those goals in the back of the net and get some confidence going.
It's been over a month since these players were in action for their clubs domestically. Walsh and Bronze playing in that Champions League final. This is a good platform here for Portugal though, and Jessica Silva stealing in behind. Can she get her shot away? Marshaled by Carter. So forced right again here. This is more promising. Oh, the challenge from Hemp. It's a good run from Pinto. from Amado. Pinto making that clever run inside.
She held her line so well. It's a brilliant ball in behind the back line. Just couldn't get her first touch out of her feet. Set it back quite well, and then England had enough bodies behind. But that's the threat that Portugal could cause for England.
Pinto, one of those who plays her football in Spain. Another of the Centurions in this experienced Portugal side. Carter. Greenwood. Carter. Walsh. And Daly. Fighting and bustling, but has penalised the referee.
Just slightly got that hand out there. I don't think Rachel Daly can have too many complaints about that handball decision. She looks slightly isolated at the moment up top. I think she needs to get a little bit of support closer to her, whether that's Georgia Stanway, whether that's Ella Toone centrally, because Lauren Hemp and Lauren James both staying quite wide. She's quite isolated.
Right from Pinto again. Seems to have the run on Greenwood. So looking for Jessica Silva. She's not going to get the free kick, but Portugal still have it. Not going to get it that time either. But they're finding some joy down that right-hand side, the Portuguese.
They are, and I think that's one of the things, when you play against a team like England that are so technical, they're full of confidence, they're European champions, the longer you get yourself into a game, the longer you stay in it, haven't conceded, start to build your way in, the more confidence it gives you. And you can see that the confidence is growing within this Portuguese side.
Here's Francisco Neto, the Portugal coach since 2014, so he's overseen their previous two tournament visits. Been knocked out in the group stage in both competitions with European Championships. And they go into this World Cup in what looks like a very difficult group indeed, facing the two sides who were in the World Cup final in France in 2019, the United States and the Netherlands, and Vietnam, the other country in that group. Here's Norton. Pinto won't get to that. Daly. And Toone. Cross to Stanway. James. This gives the impression that she's in control of every single thing she does, but then the cross comes in there, it's going to be a corner.
Lauren James just makes football look easy, look effortless. The way she moves it, the way she makes the ball stick to her feet. There's always something that comes from it. I played for her at Manchester United for a couple of seasons, and if she's on your side, it's great. If she's not, it's a nightmare. But she's growing into her talent, and she's one that's produced for Chelsea and now needs to come out here and produce for England as well.
I was waiting for you to mention that connection. The part you've played in her success so far.
I let her score a few goals in training. I think that's part of it.
We're hoping she can start at the tournament coming up. Greenwood with this corner for England. Portugal brought everybody back to defend it. It's played short into Hemp. And Greenwood England trying to mix it up with this corner. Walsh, and there's too much on that. Well, they don't have the presence of Millie Bright in that penalty area today.
They don't, and it's interesting making choices to do short corners and ones that probably take a little bit more time and effort to work on. Well, I can't imagine they'll have had too much time to specifically spend on set pieces at the moment. They've obviously not been in camp for too long. They've had time off. So it's an interesting choice whether they've just been told, go out there and express yourself, do what you feel is right in the moment. And that's important as well, to have that trust that you can make decisions on the pitch.
Bronze. And that's laid off by Daly. And James waiting to suck in those Portugal challenges and teasing the defender there. Morgan. Carter. Greenwood. Morgan. James. Little ball looking for Daly, almost.
It's Rachel Daly again in those gaps between the two centre-backs, and the delivery from Lauren James. But with Portugal playing so deep, it doesn't give so much space to be able to find those gaps, and the goalkeeper can come up nicely and clear.
Ball clipped forward, and Carter. She knows she's got a bit of a challenge on her hand in that respect. Wasn't taking any chances. The two Silvers up front. But Diana Silva hasn't had many touches of the ball so far. But here's him, who's waiting for support. Slowing things up before she accelerates forward. Just caught in two minds there, Lauren.
She was, and I think part of that is match fitness, speed of play. I've said it a couple of times now, it's about getting back into the rhythm, getting back into the motion, and a lot of that is decision making as well. It's the mental side of the game, switching on those kind of patterns in your head as well as at your feet.
So another corner for England, this time from the opposite side. And Greenwood, decent delivery. Stanway. James. Desperate for Stanway to shoot. Greenwood. On the line to Toon. And Toon won't keep that ball in play. You talk about rustiness. England do have a match behind closed doors against Canada. As one of their warm-up, their last warm-up match before the action begins in Australia. And the opening game of the World Cup sees the co-hosts against the Republic of Ireland in their first tournament, and that match will be live on ITV1 and ITVX. And as well as that game, another of the early games in the tournament, also on ITV1, England's opening match against Haiti, Saturday the 22nd of July, 9:40 we're on air. The match kicks off at 10:30. England facing another of the debutants, a record number of debutants of this expanded competition. Hemp. Driving on, clips it in towards Daly. He's going to break to Toon, not quite. Just enough of a challenge came in. I think it was Pinto in there. Carter. And Greenwood with the switch to bronze. England to stretch Portugal, and Daly was just waiting for that diagonal for bronze. It didn't come. Here's Diana Silva. Can she get going in behind Morgan? Morgan stretching and covering very well. Read the danger well indeed.
Brilliant defending from Esme Morgan then. Silva definitely had speed on her, but her body movement, the way she cut across in front of her, eradicated any form of danger, and it's an excellent defending there by Esme Morgan.
Have to have that turn of pace at the back, or good positioning at the back, the way England want to play. You know they're going to be a side that'll have a lot of the ball in this tournament. I think of all the teams in the World Cup, arguably only Spain could rival England in possession. Here's Toon. Say arguably, we always know that with Spain, and with their slightly weakened squad.
I think even with their slightly weakened squad, it's a brilliant team, and one that I'm sure will do well at this tournament. It'll be interesting to see how the dynamic works of the team with everything that's gone on behind the scenes and also in front of the scenes. It's been very public, but it's a loss for them with certain players missing. They've got some back, but it'll be really interesting to see how they do perform in this tournament. We've seen here again Lauren Hemp with the delivery, and Ella Toon, I'm not sure if she saw the foot come in from Pinto quite late and pulled out. We're at that stage where you don't want to get injured going into a tournament. It's the last thing any player wants, but also you want to prove that you're there and ready to start.
Here's Greenwood, looking for Toon. There's Norton, trying to turn and did well. She's going Silva, those quick feet that are playing at Lyon, most successful sides in his club football. And Maria, so rare touch for her in this game. Something you can sympathise with playing Portugal, Siobhan?
Most definitely, and I think as a goalkeeper you know that you're going to have that moment. You know that whether it's in the first minute, the 44th minute, the 91st minute, you will have that moment where you'll be called upon, and so much of it is so important to keep that concentration, and Marriott has shown that through the European Championships through the last couple of years, that she's got that, and she's an asset to this team right now.
Clearly one of the leaders in the dressing room as well. It's her captaincy today. It's an excellent ball by Greenwood to Hemp. And a touch there from Diana Gomez was enough in the end.
Lauren Hemp down this left-hand side, causing all sorts of problems. England going a little bit more direct down the left side. Deliveries in from Lauren Hemp, and it turned out to be an excellent touch. Couple of inches, couple of feet further narrow, might have caused the goalkeeper a little bit of a problem, but well defended in the end. But England being a little bit more direct, it's causing Portugal more problems, catching them out before they can get into shape.
We'll see what England do with this corner this time. They played it short, the last corner from this side. Everybody back for Portugal again. Stanley lingering on the edge of the penalty area with Walsh. Greenwood would whip on the corner. Decent punch from Pereira in the end. They're out of trouble under pressure. Pinto. Emma Silva. Stanway rarely lets players past her, whatever it takes.
There's no way that Silva was getting free on goal or getting anywhere towards England's half of the pitch with England out of shape, with Georgia Stanway anywhere near her. She's really grown into this position within the side. She's one of the first names on the team sheet, and she's clever, she's switched on, she knows what she needs to do, that game management side of it. If you need a tactical foul, she's there to make it. If she needs to let the game flow, she can do that.
After the Bayern side, who picked up another league title. And England's players coveted by the best sides in Europe. Nazare there hasn't been able to find much room so far. Must be frustrating for a player. Attacking sense. Diana Silva felt that from behind. And it's not even a free kick here, I don't think. Diana Silva felt that.
She definitely did. I think the contact from behind just slightly caught the back of her leg. And I think the referee has given a free kick, in fact.
Yeah, no argument from Lauren Hemp.
Lots of argument from Diana Silva, though.
It's accidental. But Norton will take this set piece for Portugal. Can they test England here? Ball in, but headed away by Carter. He's trying to make sure that the cross doesn't come in, but it might still break here. Portugal and Carter will be able to clear it away. They've shown enough here so far, Portugal. They can cause England a few problems here when they have the platform to attack in their own half. Diana Silva. Lovely front player, Jessica Silva. Silva tried to play that ball inside to Norton, couldn't find her target there. It's understandable that England might have some holes in their back line. A Bronze charging forward, and James, can she supply Bronze here? She'll ignore her to clip it to the back post, and it just wouldn't quite reach him. Vital touch, I think, defensively in the end.
It was a fantastic delivery, and it was Borges, I think, who got caught in the middle with a fantastic touch. Just took it off of Lauren Hemp's foot, who was there at the back post ready to tuck it in. Fantastic defending.
Jessica Silva getting back for Portugal there. Working hard, Portuguese, to keep England out, which they have done up to now. But Greenwood hanging that towards bronze, and acrobatic stuff from Daly, but couldn't keep it down.
I think that shows the confidence that Rachel Daly is playing with at this moment in time. Had that gone in, it would have been a spectacular goal. And who are we to blame her for trying the audacious right now?
22 goals in a WSL season. Nobody's ever scored more in a WSL season. Joint record with Sam Kerr, no less. And playing for a side who are not competing for the title. That's some going.
And what was the last top scorer in left back as well?
Well, I wonder here, the referee is just going to have a word with James here. The challenge on the captain, Dolores Silva.
I'm not too sure there's much in that. She may have caught her toe. Maybe a little bit late coming in, but I'm not sure you can complain too much about that. I mean, I'm sure they will, and they have.
And Lauren James just took the talking to, and on we go. Nazare. Nazare, one of those players signed by the biggest football agents in the world, Jorge Mendes. And here comes Toon. Looking to play it inside to Daly. Can pick her out. Carol Costa. Nazare. She goes again, but she's been penalised there. I think she's cutting a bit of a frustrated figure. She wants to impose her talent on this platform.
I think she definitely is, and it was lucky for England there that it did get pulled back, because had she been away, it could have been a dangerous opportunity. But for me, if you go back before that, you see her frustrations. Before that, England are normally so brilliant on transition, but that Ella Toon regained possession, and all she had to play with was Rachel Daly. There wasn't the numbers forward with her. I think England need to get a little bit higher up the pitch, a little bit quicker, to be able to combine and to be able to cause problems for Portugal's backline, especially in transition, especially on turnover.
It's an accidental treading on the toe from Daly on Borges. So Stanway and Greenwood over this free kick. Stanway will leave it. Alex Greenwood will try to play that ball into Lauren James. Carter. Walsh. Out it goes. Stanway. James. She saw the gap. Checks back. Bringing the defender a merry dance. The ball goes across, and there is Pereira.
Portugal at the moment looking quite comfortable. If they can keep Lauren James wide, prevent her from cutting in field and unleashing shots herself, I'm sure they'll be quite pleased. They've defended well in this first half.
Well, we talk a lot about Lauren James and where she might end up in this England side. And it's been talk about she's been played wide most often for England and for Chelsea, actually, since she signed for them. Where do you see her final position?
I think she's got so much talent, she can play wherever she wants to play. But for me, I think I'd like to have her central, where she can pick the ball up, where she can drive centrally and unleash shots. Right-footed, left-footed, she's got the talent to pick up pockets where she needs to and create those opportunities for the players in front of her, the players next to her, but also take those opportunities for herself. She has got a venomous shot with both feet, and I think having her slightly more central gives England a different kind of dynamic.
I thought you were going to say when she could play anywhere she wants. I thought you were going to say left back there. But let's not start that again. Here's Stanway. Greenwood. And Hemp. Daly waiting for the ball in. It didn't come. Greenwood. Miscued that, but sometimes that can pay off. But not quite on that occasion.
Again, England causing problems down this left-hand side. A slightly mishit, almost beautifully mishit delivery from Alex Greenwood. But it's good to see more bodies in the box there from England. Lucy Bronze at the back post coming in really late. We need to see, and we want to see, more bodies committed forward to the attack, and I think we're starting to see that a little bit more, potentially as Portugal start to tire.
I think that might be the case when England faced Brazil, when they faced Australia, that they'd be able to capitalise on the team tiring the second half, but it wasn't the case with those games. But here's Hemp. Daly, her first chance to run at the defence. And she looks to find Bronze. It was almost a fantastic ball. Toon. And plenty of bodies forward here. Morgan. Closing in on half-time. Portugal still keeping England out. Greenwood. And Hemp. Greenwood, challenge from Jessica Silva. Nazare can break away. But again, the white shirts around her, but Nazare battling hard and dispossessing England midfield again.
You spoke before about Nazare's frustration potentially of not getting as much of the ball in attack. But I think if you give Portugal 0-0 at half-time, I think they'd most definitely take it.
I mentioned the Netherlands being one of their opponents. And this sort of performance from Portugal, they could certainly trouble the current Dutch side.
They could do. I think for me, what they need to do a little bit more of is once they get those balls in the higher areas, to make sure they hold on to it, make sure they raise the quality just a little bit to make sure all that hard work of pressing doesn't go unnoticed. And when they receive the ball in those high up areas, to try and combine a little bit more, hold on to it, draw other players in.
Yeah, they certainly troubled the Dutch at the last Euros. 3-2 defeat in another entertaining game. They certainly left their mark on the tournament, the Portuguese. Leaving their mark on this game so far. Stanway looks for Daly. It's a lovely ball to pick out the England forward. Support is coming, but Daly has one eye on that goal. The shot blocked in the end. Absolutely no interest in passing that, Rachel Daly. Here's James. That's not a good pass. Pinto. Cute link-up play Portugal looking for here. Jessica Silva. She saw that there was space behind Greenwood, but couldn't find that space. And Nazare, down at the moment, had a little slap of the ground there, the youngster. 20 years of age, but what about Daly here?
This is what we want to see more from her. It's been difficult with Portugal's backline, but the way she can run at the backline, cut herself infield and open up for that shot. You had Lauren James, you had Lucy Bronze open on that right-hand side, but as you said, there was no chance of her passing that ball. Potentially on another day she may do, because it was brilliant support play from England.
22 WSL goals earns you that right, and she has been scoring for England in the games when she's played up front as well. So against Italy, scored against Japan in one of the friendlies at the end of last year. Morgan back to Mary Earps, who hasn't had a save to make so far. Familiar scenario for Mary Earps, even in the games against fancied opposition. That's how strong England have been under Serena Wiegman. We don't want to read anything into the numbers, but we will anyway. Because usually in international games, there'll be 1 to 11 on the back of their shirts, but players have specific numbers in this game, and I wonder, you just wonder, the fact that Daly's wearing 9, that James is wearing 7, Kelly wearing 18. Let's just do that for now.
Niamh Charles wearing 3. There's so many questions you can ask over that, whether it's something they want you to read into, whether Sarina Wiegman's done it as a ploy to get people thinking different things. Who knows with her? But as a player, you definitely read into numbers. You want that number 1, you want that number 10, whichever it is in that starting position, you want it.
James in that iconic number. Toon. Oh, a lucky break there, Toon, and this might work for England. Hemp and Toon and Stanway are waiting for that pull back, and Stanway attacking it. And it clipped the bar.
England's most dangerous moments have come from deliveries from Lauren Hemp. They've been brilliant. England have done well to find gaps between the centre-backs. Normally Rachel Daly, this time Georgia Stanway, as you said, just clipped the crossbar.
Well, half-time has been blown. England have created plenty of chances, but haven't taken any of them. Portugal have had the odd moment getting forward, but have held out the Lionesses so far. Half-time at Milton Keynes. England 0, Portugal 0.
We really are delighted to be bringing you the Women's World Cup across ITV, starting in just under 3 weeks' time. We kick off on the opening day with the Republic of Ireland's first ever World Cup match against the host Australia, and then we have England's first match in their group against Haiti on the 22nd of July. An exciting month ahead, but back to the action here at MK Don Stadium. Now, we've heard of 3 changes to this England side. Charles is in for Greenwood, Russo in for Daly, and Kelly in for Toon. Did you expect these changes so early on?
I had a feeling simply because of the way that it's not progressing the ball really well through the midfield. We need something else up in that 10 area. It wasn't quite happening for Ella Toon. So, you know, Annie's got her wish.
Yeah,
you know, it looks like Lauren might go in number 10 now.
Number 10
my
role.
wish has been granted. You know, obviously we mentioned it before the game. Lauren James in that 10, driving at the heart of defences. I think Siobhan mentioned it in commentary as well. I think that's a real weapon for us. And you know, sometimes she gets isolated on the wing. Chloe Kelly is an out-and-out winger. Maybe that's more of a natural position for her. So excited to see Lauren in that position.
Feel a little bit for Rachel Daly because she was isolated. That's why you saw her at the end there trying to take that shot. She had 2 chances, maybe half chances, but
so
I
why
do
do you
feel
think
for
she's
her.
made the change then?
Well, maybe just something different. We need something different.
Yeah.
We need to try and penetrate this back line when they go deep. And I think Lauren James is the one. She'll get in there. She'll play 1-2s. She'll make things happen. And hopefully we can break them open because we're going to need to start doing that.
And I guess that is what this is about, isn't it? A couple of games before the World Cup kicks off, this is a chance for Sarina Wiegman to really tinker with the team and see what works.
Well, it's a different style, isn't it, Portugal? And when we come to the World Cup, you've got Haiti, China and Denmark, 3 different styles. And it's how you break those different styles down. You know, someone like Lauren James, you know, any little special trick, she can open it up. So sometimes it might be a game where just 1 goal will open the floodgates.
So what are you hoping now to see in the second half?
Well, like I said, I want to see if Lauren James does go in the 10, which we do think she's going to do, then I want to see the ball get into her quicker. I want to see people in and around her because she's going to need that to make those 1-2s happen. And I want to see people have an opportunity to shoot.
Yeah.
I want to see people shooting. I don't think this goalkeeper's great. I think she needs testing. We haven't had too many shots on her. So I'd like to see us do that, but I want to see us keep them under pressure because they're not great playing out of defence, Portugal. So put them under pressure there, win the ball back there early, and then have a go at them.
And as we highlighted, obviously, in the analysis, we've got, you know, I'd love to see better positioning from Esme Morgan. She can't go all the way back into that midfield. And Morgan and Carter, that relationship, that position is really important.
And also, let's remember that it is the first time that they've started a match together.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's lots to work out between them.
Okay, the players are ready to kick off the second half. It's back to your commentators, Siobhan Chamberlain and Seb Hutchinson.
Yes, England making those changes ahead of this second half. Will that change the effect they'll have on this Portugal defence? A reminder of the depth of talent that England have, the players they've been able to bring on for this second half. It's Portugal to get us underway in this second period, unchanged. The Portuguese had a pretty good first half by all accounts. Norton tries to get it out to Jessica Silva, and there's Niamh Charles with her first intervention in the game. That number 3 on her back, that number so associated with playing left back. Bronze. Looking forward towards Rousseau, and Hemp on the right-hand side this time. Into the arms of Pereira, the goalkeeper. Siobhan, what about those England changes?
Exciting changes. You said it, didn't you, that the depth that this squad has is so exciting. The changes that they've made hasn't weakened the squad at all. In fact, potentially moving forwards, it could have made it even stronger. Yes, Alex Greenwood would be a player that you'd expect to be at the back in some kind of format, whether it's central or whether it's on the left side. It's a good opportunity for Niamh Charles. It's a good opportunity for everyone in that back line other than Lucy Bronze to stake a claim for starting.
Here's Kelly looking to make an immediate impression. Tame shot in the end from the hero of the Euros.
Another player that's going to be full of confidence in an England shirt after that European Championships. And one that's exciting on the ball. Direct, plays well in those wide areas, potentially more natural wide player, as they said at half-time, than Lauren James. So it'll be interesting to see how they all play together.
Of course, we get so caught up in the idea of who's starting, but the substitutes equally as important in this England side, as we found out during the Euros when the likes of Russo and Toon were those impact substitutes, and Kelly herself. Now those three hoping to start the games, but even if they don't, they will play their part. Nazare got the challenge away, but like she was hurt in the process, still down, and I think Bronze thinking about putting this ball out of play. She tried to ride the pain, but she has remained on the floor, the 20-year-old.
Yeah, she got her leg caught underneath her, looked quite painful. It wasn't a foul or anything like that, just kind of got caught. Doesn't make it any less painful, the fact that it's not really a foul.
This is always the worry with games like this. I mean, you noted it in the first half, Siobhan, that we'll be playing on players' minds in terms of the performance. Maybe not at top intensity, but that can also be a risk in itself if you're not.
It can be if you're not fully match fit, both mentally and physically, making those decisions where you stick your foot in, where you don't. It's definitely going to play a part. You want to perform to your maximum because you're playing for places. Yes, you're on the plane, but you want to be on the pitch. At the same time, you don't want to get injured.
Don't think she's going to be able to continue here. Nazare, real frustrating game for her. Wanted to impose herself on this game. One of the most talented young players in world football, actually, and a player who has had a lot of experience already, having made her debut for a club Benfica at 16, but an immediate shake of the head, and she's not going to be able to continue. And if there's any doubts, they'll want to take her off.
Well, that's one of the things. If there is any doubt, now is not the time to risk it. She needs to be fit in 3 weeks' time for the first game of the tournament. She doesn't need to be fit for the second half of a friendly against England. So if there is any doubt, get her off the pitch, wrap her up in cotton wool or ice, whatever it is that needs to be done, because she's an important part of this squad.
Absolutely. She plays in that position as a false nine, centre forward, attacking midfielder, a player who is certainly going to start for Portugal at the home World Cup, we hope. But she's going to make her way off here. And Anna Capetta, who is a centre forward, is for one of Benfica's rivals, Sporting. Another of the Lisbon sides, but don't call them Sporting Lisbon. Let's see if that changed their system, if Capetta will drop off the front. It looks like Diana Silva, maybe the central striker still. Russo turns and drives. And now Hemp. And Hemp looking to line one up there, and eyes on the goal. And couldn't keep that in play.
Good attacking play there by England, couldn't quite get the shot away. Credit to Portugal, really, the number of bodies they're getting back behind the ball in shape so quickly, making it really difficult for England.
James finds that little pocket, not on the same wavelength there. Not sure if that ball was for Russo or for Hemp. Either way, didn't find either of them. But we are excited to see Lauren James in that 10 role. It's where we believe she wants to be eventually.
Definitely, and this is the right time to put her there. This is the right time to test those connections between players. It's hard to do it in a tournament when you're mid-flow. We know that Serena Wiegmann likes to keep consistency, so now is the time to do it. Test it out, see how it works, see if she has that ability. We know she has the ability to do that in international matches. That's the question mark at the moment.
Capetta finding herself on that left-hand side at the moment. There's a chance for her involvement. There's confirmation of the England triple change. Greenwood, Daly and Toon making way. Daly, I think Serena knows what she's going to get from Rachel Daly. Much to learn in that regard. But it'll be interesting to see here how James gets on in that 10 role, because Toon, who was the player coming on in that role in place of Fran Kirby at the Euros, is expected to start, but James be her competition.
I think for me it was a scheduled triple substitution at half-time. It looked like it was one where they were going to make those changes regardless of performance, regardless of scoreline, give players minutes and opportunities. So I wouldn't read too much into it. It's just whoever can perform the best when they're given those minutes.
Alex Greenwood did pick up a knock in training earlier this week as well. Stanway with this corner for England. Centre-backs up for this one, and in it goes, and it's just for the bars. A free header for Lauren Hemp, who is good in the air. Big chance.
A huge chance. It's a brilliant delivery from Georgia Stanway. Lauren Hemp finds the space in between the defenders, and she's got to do better there. She's got to hit the target. As you said, she's good with her head. She scores lots of goals. She's not the tallest, but she's definitely good at finding the space and finding direction. She'll be disappointed with that one.
It's a player a couple of years ago people thought was England's main attacking outlet, but they've got a few now. Well collected by Stanway. Carter. Said about the defenders going forward. Carter actually one of those who stays back for the corners. Morgan. Bronze. Petta tracking her inside. Carter. Norton trying to stick to Walsh. Here goes James, who can be a relief player for England in possession. Stanway not the best pass to Hemp. In a few occasions for England today, some loose passing. Capetta is just onside. Carter giving her no time. Smart turn from James, causing problems already in that position. And Kelly's shot. Pereira got something on it. Hacked away by Carol Costa. Here's Bronze. Stanway. Hemp. Carter across to Niamh Charles. He's one of those players who can play in multiple positions. Attributes so valued by managers nowadays. Bronze. That's a clever ball inside. Was well defended. Diana Gomez. Smart turn from Stanway. Now Hemp. Russo on the move. Here is Russo. Challenge there. And the foul's gone the other way. I think Russo had eyes on the ball, in all honesty.
Definitely eyes on the ball there from Russo. I think, as you see as the ball comes in, eyes on the ball, feet on the player. I'm sure there's too many questions over that free kick. We see here the shot earlier from Chloe Kelly. A save from the keeper, but as we said, untidy with that. Got to be ready for those spilt balls. I think we didn't quite see in that replay the first touch from Lauren James on her back foot, finding it through to Chloe Kelly. That's where we want to see her picking up those pockets and providing.
Walsh providing Russo. Hemp. James out there with Hemp, and James is offside. But it is a position, even though Lauren James wants to play there, a position she is still learning at the top level.
It is, and it's also interesting to see, no questions on that offside decision at all, but it's interesting to see Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly changing sides as well. Lauren Hemp playing on this right-hand side, essentially wanting her to cut in field a little bit more, and the same with Chloe Kelly. Whereas I thought in the first half, Lauren Hemp was really good getting around the outside and putting those deliveries in, so it'd be interesting how long they keep that change for.
Diana Silva. It's Pinto. She's had some nice moments when she's been on the ball in midfield, and here she goes again. Pinto with room to run into, but the ball wasn't there. And Charles gets the break. Here is James. Maybe another possible solution for England in terms of the way they play with Walsh as that single midfielder at the base of their midfield, a single pivot, as they say. James, another option for England, building up from deep as well. Russo going on and just checked there, but fairly by Amado.
Strong defending there by Amado. Not a penalty for me, although the crowd definitely feel it was.
And look at Jessica Silva go, and Charles had a pull at her head there. She'll be lucky to escape a booking here, Niamh Charles. And that ball goes out of play. I think she's going to, though. And I don't think Jessica Silva can believe it.
To be honest, I don't think I can believe it either. It is probably one of the most obvious professional pullback fouls you're going to see. Jessica Silva's turn of pace, getting away from her, fully pulling her back there. I think potentially her saving grace is the fact that it went out for a corner and the referee continued to play the advantage.
Almost holding hands there. Doing what had to be done, Niamh Charles. Norton thought about the short corner. He's desperate to take it instead. Plays that ball in and Earps claims. Is that her first touch? In terms of with her hands.
Her first meaningful touch in the game, most definitely. She's obviously had passes around the back, which are comfortable for her. But it's important to stay involved, and I'm sure she'll be grateful for a little bit of handling work as well.
James can slide this through, and Russo is through. Round the goalkeeper, will she get there? Oh, it's brilliant defending on the line. It was excellent work from Russo to get the shot away, but the cover, the experience of Borges on the line.
It's the ball through from Lauren James again. The way she receives on the back foot, plays it through. Goalkeeper comes charging out, and credit to Portugal. 3 players making those recovery runs, and it was Ana Borges on that line sliding in and preventing the goal. But much more exciting forward play from England in this second half already.
Russo stretching, trying to force it. Borges did well to avoid the post. Applauded by Serena Wigman. England know how close that was. Congratulating their teammate there. Prevented England from opening the scoring on the hour. Stanway. It's a decent corner towards Bronze off the post. Danger not clear for Portugal. It is now, but Bronze with a header. Definitely the target from the corner.
Another brilliant delivery from Georgia Stanway. Lucy Bronze changed the direction of it almost to perfection. Left the goalkeeper standing, but the post came to her aid. The goal's living a charmed life now.
Absolutely big chances coming for England thick and fast. And here's James. And James, that's a smart pass. Portugal determined to try and pass their way out of trouble. Have defended pretty well so far, Portugal, but also to moments of fortune, which you need when you're facing this England side. Amado, Bronze, thought about stretching for that one and thought twice. Kelly, excellent work, excellent pressure. Kelly, oh, clever pass, and Russo drags the shot wide. Well, we thought Kelly might have the shot. She fed her teammate there, but Russo couldn't hit the target.
Brilliant pressure here from Chloe Kelly on the transition. Drives forward, great footwork, and completely selfless play to set up Alessia Russo, who you'd expect there to hit the target, just drags it slightly wide. But England are getting in those positions more and more in this second half, causing more problems for Portugal, and there's a number of players getting involved in those attacking areas, players higher up the pitch, and it's difficult for Portugal.
We're going to make a couple of changes here. They've taken off their captain Dolores Silva. It's one of those to make way, and Diana Silva also coming off. Centre forward, Thelma Icarnaçao, who scored against Wales in the draw in the friendly a couple of months ago. Andrea Jacinto, a Sociedad midfielder, doing the band there. And England are also going to make two changes very shortly. So Laura Coombs, Katie Zellum down there. Bronze, Stanway, and Kelly, who's looked bright in this second half since coming on, and she'll get the corner as well. Such a live wire. That's the thing, we talk about whether Kelly's going to start, but if she does come off the bench, she's going to be quite a weapon for England.
She will do, and I think that's one of the things that Serena Wiegmann's potentially looking at today. She knows she can start players, but she wants to know who's going to give her that impact from the bench. She had it from Ella Toon, she had it from Russo in the Euros. She's going to need it from somebody in this World Cup.
It's a crowded penalty area. And Stanway's looking for Bronze again, who did get to it first. Nardo, the clearance. Charles hoping that runs behind for another corner. It will.
We spoke about the deliveries in the first half from corners, about playing it short. Was it being a little bit too clever this early on, where they won't have time necessarily to have worked on them? These deliveries from Georgia Stanway in the second half have been brilliant. They've found an England head time and time again, just haven't quite managed to make it into the back of the net. But sometimes just a good delivery and a good attacking play is all that you need.
Lucy Bronze has always been a target for set pieces for England. And Stanway sends that one in. Some brave defending in there. Two Portuguese players going for the ball. Carter. Charles sends that in, and again more last-ditch stuff from Portugal.
You said it there, last-ditch. It's all starting to become a little bit last-ditch for Portugal, riding their luck at times.
Well, Katie Zellum, one of those who missed out on the Euro squad, but she is effectively the reserve for Keira Walsh. Sit at the base of that midfield. Manchester United player. And Stanway going off for Laura Coombs, who's having a second wave at international level. She thought it might never happen for her again, but she's been in the picture with Serena Wiegmann in recent squads and is part of this World Cup squad.
There's no surprises there with those substitutions for me. Keira Walsh and Georgia Stanway are two of the first names on that team sheet. They've had their hour-long run out. Now protect them, because they're going to be vital for England if England are going to go all the way.
So Hemp with corner duties now. And the two subs on the edge of the area. Zellum and Coombs. Hemp is towards Zellum. Charles. And Morgan was still up waiting for the cross, but it didn't come in the end. So Niamh Charles, she's going to go for the long throw here. Is it towards Russo, who's so good at holding that ball up. Russo again. Carter. Coombs, first touch. Hemp will send it in towards Russo. Break to the back post, and Kelly. Crowd desperate to see a goal in this game, but Portugal holding out still. Coombs. Bronze. James trying to lay it back. Finding himself it out there. Sinto, that's a decent pass to Capetta. It's not a bad ball either to Norton. And this is promising, and Norton trying to catch out Mary Earps. That takes some doing.
Slightly audacious, but I think that potentially would count as a shot on target for Portugal, which could be their first shot. So I'm sure they'll take that as a positive, but good movement down here, down their left-hand side. Jacinto's just come on. Brilliant ball down the line, and will cause problems for England if they switch off at all.
Here's Katie Zillum, who can pick her passes, and she's picked that one out to Charles. And Charles, this might work for Coombs. Oh, the touch wasn't there. It was unlucky for England there. Eyes would have lit up. Two players down. Lauren Hemp. There's Norton down there for Portugal. In fact, there's two Portuguese players down at the moment, Borges as well. But what a chance for Laura Coombs, who hasn't scored for England.
Great delivery from that left-hand side. Found herself in a brilliant space at the edge of that box. Her first touch just let her down. This is where we talk about match sharpness. I'm sure she'll be reliving that one in her head a few times over, but it's brilliant to be in those positions, to get those opportunities. Potentially just came a little bit quickly, as she's only just come off the bench onto the pitch.
Well, Siobhan, you know how special it is to play at a World Cup. That's what Laura Coombs will hope to do. Even if she doesn't play, we will have so much of the action on ITV, starting with Australia's opening match, the co-host's opening match of the tournament against the Republic of Ireland in their debut appearance in the competition, 20th of July for that one, 10:15 on ITV1 and ITVX. And then England's opening game against Haiti on Saturday, the 22nd of July, the morning of. And all the players who were down able to continue. Oh, and almost the back pass from Hemp towards Earps. In fact, Hemp had turned away. I don't think she realised what had happened. I don't think she saw it.
I think she'll be grateful that she turned back. I don't think Mary Earps really appreciated the speed of the pass, took a little bobble up. But it's basics there from England. We've got to get our first touch ready. It just skipped away from her. And she'll be incredibly grateful that it's gone past the post. But that's an important part of goalkeeping positioning. Be in a position to receive a back pass where it goes outside the width of the post. If those mistakes do happen, it's not in the back of the net.
Break that down a little bit more once England have seen this corner away. If they can, though, Portugal. Norton to take, Jacinto on the edge of the box. In goes the corner. Costa trying to keep it alive, helps it back inside that penalty area. And now Russo trying to break away, but Hemp won't get to that. And again, looking for a free kick there. They're not going to get it, Portugal. James. So tight to her, but that's... He just said they done had a little tug on James's shirt, but she rides that. And Hemp, who I think is still thinking about that back pass there. Isn't quite quick enough to that ball. Morgan. Coombs onto Bronze. Looking for Hemp, who did get there first that time. Portugal, they're lucky there. And with the scoreline as it is, I wonder if Portugal fancy their chances of nicking this.
Also, from the other perspective, you wonder what England's mindset is. Do they continue doing what they've been doing and stick to their principles, or do they play as if it's a knockout football match at a World Cup? Think, we've got 10 minutes to go, we need to win this game, how do we change it?
Here's Hemp. And that might be, well, it will be a corner in the end. Portugal were claiming for a goal kick. Serena Wiegman watching her side take this corner short. Coombs, that's a lovely ball in. And two queuing up. It was Russo in the end. Kelly was also in that penalty area. Lovely ball from Coombs.
It's a lovely delivery from Laura Coombs. Two players offside there in the middle, I think. The assistant referee's flag came up, so I think they'll be grateful that it didn't end up in the back of the net.
Haven't had to turn to VAR yet. Some might say hopefully not. Here's Bronze. Once again, an attacking threat for England.
I quite like VAR. It means there's something controversial happening, it means something exciting.
Here's Hemp. Oh, it's a teasing ball in. They've not cleared their lines. Charles couldn't keep the chance alive. Pinto. Heta. It's on the right-hand side this time. Shaw and Carnassau up front. He's had a touch of the ball yet. Going to get one with a pass like that out of defence. Diana Gomez. Charles to Morgan. Morgan fighting the press. James doesn't mind if players try to challenge her, but couldn't release the ball there. Such a balancing act, having Lauren James in that position, of course, because if it works, it's going to work very well indeed for England. If it doesn't, they could find themselves exposed.
It will, and that time it was just one player too many making those challenges, but we've seen, especially in the opening section of that second half, when she received the ball in those pockets between the lines and you can receive it off the back shoulder and turn, she can deliver the pinpoint pass through for the nine, for the wide players, to cause so many problems for the opposition. England just haven't quite got it into the back of the net yet.
Mary Earps. Who's the England want to build from the back? Coombs. Earps will switch this out to Charles. Charles taking it well, driving England forward and looking for the inside ball to Kelly. And more of that good cover from Portugal, from Borges as well. It has to be reminded that she is usually a forward. Cross taking a touch on towards Charles. Almost worked out for England there.
It did, and that opportunity came about firstly from a direct ball from Mary Earps. Played it slightly longer. See here the header from Niamh Charles, very comfortable for the goalkeeper, but in order to get there in the first place, it was the delivery from Mary Earps out wide to Niamh Charles. I think Mary Earps can potentially have a little bit more of an influence on this game, in possession, dictating those forward passes.
Well, it's going to be a free kick here for Portugal.
Talking about the option of Mary Earps being involved a little bit more. She's good on the ball. She can deliver balls with her right foot, left foot. Without Millie Bright, without Leah Williamson in there, can she be a little bit higher up and dictate the rhythm of England's distribution a little bit more?
Yeah, that incident with Earps and Hemp. You blaming the outfield player for that, Shaw?
I'm not blaming anybody. No, for me, it's good positioning from Mary Earps in terms of where she's offering for the back pass. Because if you're outside the width of the goal, if mistakes like that do happen, then it's not going to end up in the back of the net. Had she been central, that's a goal.
Jacinto takes the free kick, but not a good one. Knocked up by Earps. Bowls that out to Charles. Hemp, the left-hand side. Her and Kelly switch so often, club and country. Manchester City wide players. That's a loose pass from Zellum. They're a little rusty at times with their passing in this game.
Thankfully for England, though, Portugal starting to look a little bit tired, not getting higher up the pitch. They've made changes, so you think there could be a little bit more freshness in the legs, but failing to get high up the pitch and capitalise on those errors.
This may be a friendly, but if the scoreline was to stay the same, this would still be seen as a huge result for Portugal. Huge boost for them ahead of games of the World Cup and the opponents they have to face, considering they do have to face the world champions and the former European champions in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands are definitely going through a period of change at the moment. Under Wiegman, they had such consistency in their side, exactly what we see now with England, the team that won that championship. But now there is a lot of change. There is a process going on to rebuild, and it could be a good opportunity for Portugal there to make it out of the group.
Kelly, good ball in, flushed towards goal by Russo. Have looked a lot more dangerous in this second half, England.
They have, and this time it's Chloe Kelly down this right-hand side. Whips in that early delivery, and Alessia Russo doing what she does best, getting across that near post. She makes brilliant runs, makes it hard for the defender to pick her up. Just evades that near post space, and in the end, good defending by Portugal to force her wide.
This is the intensity of Chloe Kelly's attacking play. It really makes so much happen for England. It's Carter. And Earps did get that to Morgan. And Zellum, England building from the back with a side that haven't played together too much. Here's Hemp. She'll drive forward, and Kelly will always be there at the back post. Kelly, good ball inside to Bronze. Just wouldn't quite reach her in the end. Kelly gets her foot in and wins it back. And Bronze and Russo lining one up and looking for the corner, but wide it goes.
I think that's 3 times in a row that Alessia Russo has just dragged it just wide of this post. And this post is her nemesis right now. I think she looked because she wanted to make the pass, but there wasn't the opportunity. So she took the shot in the end, wasn't fully committed to it, and ended up dragging it wide.
Serena Wiegman has a side of created chances. Alessia Russo will going to find out her new club very, very soon. We're into July now. Here's Earps. Carter. And again James, who is dropping deep to get the ball, which may not be a bad thing at times, but not if she loses it. Russo. James. Brilliant control and bundled over. That's a clear free kick. Not many players in the world can take the ball like that, though, the way Lauren James did there. Yellow card for Pinto.
She's so comfortable in possession, drives forward, and Pinto drags her back down. She's been brilliant on the ball for England today, gives them something different to what they had at the European Championship. She's not like a player England had in that squad, and it's a really brilliant option for Serena Wiegman to have, whether it's wide, whether it's central, whether it's from off the bench.
One of England's young talents, and here comes another of England's young talents in Katie Robinson. Will that see Hemp be the one to make way? We're about to find out. In the meantime, double change for Portugal. Amado, the fullback, making way, and Norton as well. Carolina Mendes, one of the Centurions. Those at Braga. coming on. And that's Lucia Alves, who's left fullback. And it is indeed Hemp to come off. So Mendes will slot in midfield for Portugal. Alves at left back. And Robinson for Hemp. So Robinson in one of the wide positions on the left at the moment. Zellum. Is a goal going to come for England? This might be the moment. As Kelly took it. Very good contact with it. And it's Russo. And Kelly couldn't keep it in play. Well, another day England would have a few goals, but still yet to find the net.
The crowd were willing that one over that goal line. Chloe Kelly getting in great position at that far post, just couldn't quite get the connection right. It's coming for England. The question is, will it come within the 90 minutes?
To the last 10 minutes, 90. And the two changes for Portugal. There's Zellum. Charles. And Robinson just keeping that in play. She has to run with the ball, Robinson, and she's done that. Looking for Russo. Credit to Katie Robinson getting into this squad as well. She with Brighton were fighting a relegation battle this season in the WSL. Zellum. Carter. Charles.
Charles has done well to get forward in this second half for England from that left side. She does it week in, week out for Chelsea. She likes to attack. When I played with her a few years ago, she was a wide player. She wasn't anywhere near the back line.
Charles
She's
throws
adapted so well
into that penalty area. Didn't want Russo to cut you off there, Siobhan. England's search. Still. Robinson to turn. Wide to Charles. She's getting a lot more joy in attacking areas. So Charles. She's a player with a good shot on her from distance. I don't think she meant to go for goal there, but it almost snuck in at the back post.
No, I think that was a cross aimed back post at Chloe Kelly. Coming in late. Didn't quite get the connection that she wanted, but as I said, she's done really well to get into those positions high up the pitch and get those deliveries in.
Pinto. We're talking about Niamh Charles. She can play in lots of positions. That's what she's going to have to now with Chelsea signing another big world star in Ashley Lawrence. Wing back herself. You expect competition when you play for the champions. Here is Charles. Robinson. And Zellum. Morgan. Kelly. Dig the cross out, she can. And it might work out for England here. Another chance for Russo, perhaps. Coombs in there. In the end, England flooding that box.
They're getting bodies in the box, which is important, and that's why they're getting more luck with getting on the end of it. But Laura Coombs there, 2 attempts. Couldn't quite get the first one, did really well to be able to adjust for the second, but comfortable for the goalkeeper in the end.
Bronze. And Alves across. Portugal pretty close now to a big result for them for the tournament. James.
There's no Millie Bright to throw up front for the last 5 minutes of this game. Wonder if Sarina Wiegman's got an alternative choice for how do we win it.
Well, plenty in the crowd out here to see England before they fly out. 26,267 the attendance today. A stadium that holds about 30,000. A big crowd in MK, the birthplace of Leah Williamson, who unfortunately wasn't able to lead England out today or will be at the World Cup. But she is watching the match today. She is in attendance today. Bronze covering across, snuffing out the danger. Morgan. Zellum. Carter. Morgan. Kelly just took her eye off the ball. Is there something in this for Portugal? Alves. I suppose they're going to be caught in two minds at times, how many they can commit to attacks, especially with this position to defend. But here's Russo. England look for a late goal. Kelly. So used to seeing England scoring goals. I think off the top of my head, only 3 occasions they failed to score under Sarina Wiegman. Late challenge on Kelly, referee allowing play to continue. Robinson. Robinson again, it will be a corner for England. Two of England's injured stars watching on. Beth Mead, Leah Williamson in her hometown.
Two players, I'm sure, incredibly frustrated. They're not out there on the pitch, but fully supporting the team.
Zellum to take this corner. Well, we look for Lucy Bronze again. The answer is yes, but there's the goalkeeper. Bronze ended up gliding with the post, but she's okay, don't worry.
Really tidy handling there from Pereira. I think she'd have potentially felt like she would have had more involvement in the game today. She's probably a bit quieter than she would have thought. A bit quieter than I would have thought she would be.
Wearing number 1, but they do change their goalkeeper quite often, Portugal. Here's Charles. There's been a threat down that side for England. Zellum tried to play the diagonal. Another chance here, Katie Zellum. The ball has gone out of play. They're almost there, Portugal.
They are, and I spoke before about kind of how much England are going to go for this. Whether they want to get the win or whether they're happy settling, keeping, obviously they want the win, but keeping their structure, keeping the way that they're playing. If you're playing in a tournament match, you've had that discussion pre-game, you've had the discussion in camp, what if scenarios, if we're losing, if we're winning, do we change, how do we adapt? I wonder if they've had that conversation for a friendly, whether they've assumed they're going into this just playing, just getting minutes, just ticking over, or whether it's, yes, once we get to this point in time, we need to change things up. Because at the moment, there doesn't seem like there's been much change.
I mentioned about Portugal changing their goalkeepers quite often. Hopefully, you won't have to change his goalkeeper here. Trisha Morais is the other goalkeeper who often plays.
It would be an interesting time for a strategic goalkeeper going down moment, which we know we see in the games these days. But 89 minutes and 50 seconds, it would be a strange time. So I can only assume she is struggling slightly with something.
Siobhan, I'm going to ask you, we know that England like to play with so much intensity. In many ways, can we read too much in a match like this?
No, I don't think so. I think there will be frustrations because you want to win that final game before going out to the World Cup. You want to put on a good performance as players. It hasn't been a bad performance, but there's been a lot of lessons that Sarina Wiegman will take from it. But there's no sharpness. They haven't played for a long period of time. It's about getting minutes in those legs, getting connections, getting that sharpness back, and not picking up any injuries, which is one of the most important things.
Well, there will be 5 more minutes to play at the very least. Which I think I saw the Portuguese manager roll his eyes a little bit. Thought his side were almost there with that stoppage. More time to play, and they have the ball. Neto hopeful here. Certainly stand out as a result for Portugal to hold the European champions. England have created a lot of chances, but I'd say they've had it all their own way in this game. The scoring certainly suggests that.
Portugal can be extremely proud of the performance they've put in today. They've defended really well. They've worked hard in possession and mainly out of possession. They've created a couple of little opportunities, but they've had to work without the ball for a lot of time.
Oh, the ball across. Almost. Making Jessica Silva. Bronze. Robinson losing that ball. Alves going down, desperate for the free kick. Portugal bench up in arms. And then Alves gives the ball away to Zellum. 3 more minutes for Portugal to see out here. Petter took a gamble. It's worked out quite well, tussling with Charles. You can tell they're very much in game management mode now, the Portuguese. The side who only lost twice in qualifying, both games to Germany. No disgrace in that. Were heavily beaten by Sweden at the last Euros, but most of their games in the last few years, even when they've lost games, it's been by narrow margins. A side who are rapidly improving. And maybe, just maybe, they'll pick up a result here. More than the draw. But it's going to be a free kick and a booking for Diana Gomez. Second yellow card of the afternoon for Portugal.
Not really one you can argue too much about. An easy decision for the referee to make there. But we spoke about Portugal. They only lost 1-0 to USA in a recent friendly as well. They're rapidly progressing.
We'll face the US again. The world champions themselves missing a lot of players, but they do have a lot of players. James. Zellum. Kelly. Another Portuguese shirt in the way again. James rode the defender well in the end. Digging deep. Portugal though. Morgan. Portugal have a player down. Jessica Silva. And England carrying on here. Zellum. It's the pass into Bronze, who tried to flick it onto James. Morgan. Into the last minute. Is there any more chances to come in this game? Bronze with that switch forward. Again, more good defence from Portugal. Capeta. Looking for Encarnação. Carter across, nicely done. This could be England's last attack. Zellum. And James couldn't ride that challenge. Bronze battling, that's a clean challenge. And James playing it over the top. Russo, this might be it for England. And the story of the match so far has been the brilliant defending at times. The latest moment, Diana Gomez.
It's the ball from Lauren James that's asking questions of Portugal's backline again. Alessia Russo got her shot away. Gomez again with a brilliant sliding tackle. Outstanding defending.
And England have taken the corner quickly. Zellum. This has to go in now. Kelly, it doesn't go in. Referee's got the whistle in her mouth. It's a stalemate send-off for the Lionesses. No way past a durable Portugal side who have shown that they'll have a lot to offer at the tournament ahead. Good chances. Well, chances are plenty for England in this game. Lauren James had standout moments. Alessia Russo having a shot cleared off the line in the second half. They knocked and knocked, but no way past this Portuguese defence. But nevertheless, England still full of belief that they can back up their European title with the World Cup. They weren't able to provide their supporters today with some goals to celebrate as the match ends in Milton Keynes. England 0, Portugal 0.